Hi everybody, Sarah here. Hope all you sketchers are doing well this week. I wanted to circle back around and do another video to show you guys my solution for sketching with my children. So now and then we have the time that the kids are able to join me on one of the New York City Urban Sketchers outings. And after doing this a few times, I ran into some challenges depending upon the location that we go to. We may be taking public transit or we might be walking quite a bit, and we don't have a car, so just get that out of the way. So sometimes it can be a little bit of a long distance, and my kids are pretty resilient. They're used to being on their feet and running around. But once I pack a bag for everybody, usually my boys carry a backpack, so they have their water bottle, some snacks, sometimes lunch. Sometimes the sketches go through lunchtime. So, and then I pack in art supplies. And once I have all of that packed in their bag, the bag is a little heavy, especially for my youngest, who's 7 years old. So I often bring a sketchbook along for myself, which can actually get quite heavy because the paper is really thick, because it's watercolor paper. For my kids, I was using the Canson XL sketch pads, but those are actually, the ones we had were pretty thick as well. So I came up with a solution to lighten their bag, and I'm going to show you this really quickly. So this is just a Jot brand portfolio. It was actually like a notebook. It had lined paper inside. And what I did is I took the lined paper out of it, and the surface of it is a good hard surface. You could use it to draw on. So I took the paper out of it, and I added some rubber bands around the back of the binding. Then on the inside, I cut down paper to fit inside. I folded the paper in half and just slid it through the rubber band. So this essentially makes either two large sheets that they could watercolor on, or four, actually really 8 surfaces if you do front and back, for them to use for watercolor. And then in the back of it, I put just regular sketch paper. This is my 7-year-old's, and this is his urban sketch of a bridge. So there's probably like 10 sheets of sketch paper in there right now, but you can see how small and compact that is. Now, the great thing about having this, pieced together with rubber bands is that when we come home, we can just pull the sheet out and replace it. So these just slide in and out, really easy. And I think it's also kind of nice for kids because they don't have to feel like they have to get it right the first time. Maybe I'm the only one who feels that way. I know with my work, I always feel like I have to get it right the first time. I can't have an ugly page in my sketchbook. I think a lot of us feel that way. But this gives them the option. If they mess up a page, they can feel like they can take it out and it was never there. If they come home with a masterpiece, we can take it out and put it on the fridge, put it on their wall, put it in the hallway, and they can feel proud of it. But what this really also does for us too is it really lightens the weight of our bag that we're carrying, which is a really big deal for us, especially since we're typically on feet and we're carrying a lot of other things. And let's face it, even our bottle of water adds a lot of weight to our bag. So then on that note, another challenge that I discovered sketching with the kids is that primarily my youngest really enjoys doing the watercolor. My older two just like to draw with a regular pencil or with colored pencils or a marker. They kind of like to just get it done. My younger one really likes to paint and add color. So one of the things that I found that was challenging is that because the kids are sketching at the same time I'm sketching, I'm kind of busy, yet my younger one that likes to watercolor was constantly asking me to come help him. So oh gosh, I feel a little bad saying that. It kind of sounds like I'm being a bad parent that he's constantly asking for help, but it ended up that my sketches were always like half done by the end because I spent so much time, oh, we need to change out the water, we need to mix this certain color, or this needs to be wiped up. It was just a bit much. So I got to thinking, what can I do to make this simpler? And the solution that we came up with that actually works quite well is instead of bringing paint with us, we started bringing water-soluble colored pencils. So essentially watercolor pencils. The ones we have, I think they're made by Faber-Castell, and they're called an eco pencil. They're marketed for kids, but they're water soluble. So you can draw your picture out with these colored pencils and then go back in with water on a brush to make it into watercolor. And to take it one step easier than just a brush and water, I got my kids the little Arteza watercolor, or I should say water brushes. So essentially, I fill it with water. There's a little push button on the side right here, and that makes it drip water. And you can buy them in different sizes. So I gave them a wider brush for large washes, and a little tiny brush for detail. So just 2 brushes already filled with water. Very, very simple. I'll show you guys really quick. So, oh, that one's dripping now. But if it's dry and you need water, you just push that button and it's just gonna drip some more water for you. So that works really, really well. And it made everything a lot simpler and really more enjoyable for the kids too. And then that way we were able to sketch together, do our own thing, and we all had a finished sketch by the end. Well, the kids usually actually end up doing about 3 or 4 finished sketches in the same amount of time that I'm able to finish one, but that's okay. So anyway, this is really simple. Anybody could make this. These are just some regular thin rubber bands, but I think that you could also look online for, there's something like called a file folder rubber band, which is pretty thick and strong, so that might work really well. And honestly, you don't need to even go buy anything like this. This would be a perfect project to make out of like an old composition book that your kids have used throughout the year. Well, if they're not destroyed by the end of the school year, we all know how that is. But yeah, just take an old composition book and pull that paper out and then add the papers that you need for the day. And it's very lightweight and easy, and the kids enjoy it. I enjoy it. So that was my little solution for that. I think sometimes these things help parents when they're struggling to find what's going to work best. Let's see. Okay, other things I wanted to mention. So currently, New York City Urban Sketchers have put a pause on our in-person sketching due to Omicron, COVID, all that stuff. So we want to keep everyone safe and healthy. Now, at the beginning of the pandemic, we started doing online sketches. So they're not technically urban sketches, but it's still really fun. And on a Saturday morning, you pre-register for it, you get the Zoom link. So on Saturday morning, everyone joins the Zoom and we break out into separate breakout rooms, maybe like 10 or 15 people, and we all chat and introduce ourselves and we sketch together. So I joined for that last Saturday, and that was a ton of fun. We all sketched Hearst Castle in California and San Simeon. So I can show you guys really quickly my sketch that I did from that. But if you would like to join us, you don't have to live in New York City to join us since it's all online. It's amazing. All you have to do is go look up NYC or New York City Urban Sketchers on Eventbrite, and you can register for the event on Eventbrite. It's completely free, so please join us. When you register, there is information if you would like to send a donation to New York City Urban Sketchers. Every little bit counts. We're just a nonprofit and just here to spread art love. So let me show you guys really quick the sketch I did from the last one. I'm going to move my face out of the way here so that hopefully the camera picks up on that. So yeah, just a fun little sketch. Did some big washes on that one, probably a bit more than my paper could really handle, but it all worked out. Also, if you go to the New York City Urban Sketchers blog, there is a link there to our merchandise shop. It's actually through Zazzle, and you can purchase yourself a beautiful New York City Urban Sketchers mug. By the way, I make no money from this. In case you're wondering, I'm just a sketcher. I'm just a member of the group, but they get a kickback from whatever merchandise you buy. They got money from the merchandise I bought, and that helps us put on more events. So we can also buy, I'm looking to see if I have my hat here. I don't think I have my hat here. You can also buy baseball hats and t-shirts and all sorts of fun goodies. There's towels, tons of stuff, buttons, stickers. So go to the blog, click that link. And actually, I believe when you register on Eventbrite, there is also a link to the Zazzle store. I could be wrong. You know what? Maybe I will post all of that in the description of this video. Even easier. I'll post a link to the blog too, so you can keep updated on everything we're doing there. All right, so that's my short, quick little tips for urban sketching with your kids today, and hopefully I'll find some time to make another video soon. All right, bye guys.